With this Auld Lang Syne guitar lesson, we'll focus on a fingerstyle arrangement that works well for an unaccompanied sing-along performance. With guitar tabs, chord diagrams, and an accompanying guitar karaoke practice video, we're going to cover it all with a step-by-step approach. For this arrangement of Auld Lang Syne, we're going to use a capo along the second fret position. So all of the chord shapes presented will be relative to the capo. So for example, a C chord, fretted C chord, will actually sound like a D chord shape with the capo along the second fret, moving everything up 2 notes or 2 frets to D. So even though we're playing the key of C with our fingers, the actual sound of this arrangement, or the key of this arrangement, will be the key of D major. And the first step will be to work on the fingerstyle pattern. For those of you that know basic fingerstyle technique, you know to assign your thumb to pluck either the 6th, 5th, or 4th string bass note, depending on the chord being played, and then aligning and assigning your 1, 2, and 3 fingers to pluck the 3rd, 2nd, and 1 strings. Now for this particular arrangement, we focus more on the middle strings, not the top strings so much. So what I do is I actually shift my 1, 2, and 3 fingers down a string each, 4, 3, 2. For me, that gives me better tone. But if you're more comfortable with the basic or standard fingerstyle technique, that'll work fine. Otherwise, we're going to shift our fingers down. And here's the fingerstyle pattern. Starting with the C chord, I'll call off the strings first. It'll be the 5th string, which is the bass note. And then we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3. We'll do that again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3. Once you know the notes, you want to count that sequence out. That gives you a better sense of timing or tempo. And how we would count it, instead of 1, I'm going to say bass for the bass note. And then you group the notes like this. Bass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Bass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Let's do that 2 times in a row. Bass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, bass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now finally, let's do it 4 times in a row. 1, 2, ready, go. Now at this lesson we'll give you 3 options on how to start Auld Lang Syne, and the first option will be no intro, to go right into the verse section of the song. And the verse section is 8 measures, and the first 4 measures we're going to focus on first. And the chord shapes used will be a C, and then I call this an alternate G. It's actually a G chord, but it's a different voicing. A lot of you may not have tried that. It's with the pinky down on the 3rd fret. Again, I say 3rd fret relative to capo. It's actually the 5th, but relative to capo, this is the alternate G. And then we're also going to go to an F chord using just the top 4 strings, not a full bar F, but just the top 4 strings. And the 4 measures, the opening sequence, we're going to do a 1-strum walkthrough of just strumming the chords. C, then the G, then back to C, and then F with that bass note being the 4th string. And now we'll apply the fingerstyle technique to this 4-chord sequence. For C it'll be the 5th string, G will be the 6th, F it'll be the 4th string. So slow walk through, first 4 measures. 1, 2, ready, go. Do that again. 1, 2, ready, go. For the next 4 measures, we're going to throw in some new chord shapes as well as some fingerstyle variations. And starting with the new chord shapes, we're going to introduce an A minor chord, a regular open A minor chord shape, and then another chord voicing for G without the pinky finger down this time. So we're letting those open strings ring with the G bass note on the bottom string. And we also have some fingerstyle variations. So getting into the sequence, it's going to be a C chord. In fact, before we do the fingerstyle variations, let's do a 1-strum. A C with including the top string, and then the alternate G, and then a quick transition between A minor and that new G, and then C on the middle strings. Let's walk through that one more time, that four measure sequence. C, alternate G, then quick between A minor and the new G, and then the middle C. And now we go to the fingerstyle approach or pattern, and with the C chord, we're going to shift the fingers up to the top 3 strings. And so the C will sound like this. And then we go to the alternate G. And then for the A minor, it's just going to be 4 notes, just going on those middle strings with the 5th string bass note, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then that G, which is the open middle strings. So that's that transition. That is one measure split with 2 chords. A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, then G, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back to the basic fingerstyle pattern with C on the middle strings. So let's put that together from the top, the 4 measures, starting with C. Slow walk through. 1, 2, ready, and. We'll do that one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Now let's review all of verse 1, all 8 measures. We'll do a slow walkthrough. So here we go from the top. 1, 2, ready, go. And we can do that one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Once you have the chord progression down, the next step is to focus on timing or syncing the lyrics with the chord changes. And before we do that with a fingerstyle approach, we're going to use a 1-strum approach. We're just going to use the thumb and do down strums on the chord changes and syncing those up with the corresponding lyrics. And step 1 with that is we don't start the first down strum or the first bass note will not be on the first lyric should, because we start off with should auld acquaintance be forgot. It's should auld, and then we're going to do the 1-strum. So that's step 1 with the timing. And let's show you how that works with the 1-strum approach with verse 1. It'll sound like this. Should auld acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Should auld acquaintance be forgot and Auld Lang Syne. One note on the lyrics. I have a PDF for this lesson. Pretty much it's pure English lyrics, but sometimes when you look at a pure English translation, certain words don't sound good. It's a matter of taste, but some versions you'll see, they'll actually say, should old acquaintance be forgot? I think it sounds better kind of leaning more toward the auld. You could actually combine both words, should old, kind of mix them up together. But you'll look at the lyrics page, pretty much I stick with the English lyrics, but a few alterations leaning toward the Scottish words that simply sound better with the melody. Next, we'll focus on syncing the lyrics with the fingerstyle pattern. And with that, again, the key is landing the bass notes with the corresponding lyrics. Playing the exact fingerstyle pattern, every single note 100% spot on, is not necessary, especially when you're on your own, if you're singing and accompanying yourself on guitar. So we're going to walk through this general way to kind of fall into the fingerstyle pattern and syncing it up with the lyrics, so you don't have to worry about being 100%. And here's how this will sound with the fingerstyle approach. 1, 2, ready. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot in Auld Lang Syne? The chorus section, guitar-wise, is identical to the verse section. The only difference will be the lyrics. So the only challenge here will be to work on syncing the lyrics with the chord changes. So we'll start with the one-strum approach for the chorus, and that will sound like this. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. Now we'll apply that fingerstyle pattern again, sort of a rough draft walkthrough just to get that timing, especially with the bass notes. For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. Now let's combine the verse with the chorus section, verse 1 with the first chorus. And again, it'll be a slow walkthrough with the fingerstyle approach. 1, 2, ready. Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot in Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. The basic arrangement of Auld Lang Syne, especially if you leave out the intro, it's real simple. It simply goes verse, chorus, and it keeps alternating for as many verses as you want to play. On the karaoke video, I do 6 verses, with the first verse being repeated at the end. A lot of times people abbreviate it, they delete verses. You can even see versions with additional verses, but regardless of what arrangement you do, the next step, once you know the verse chorus, is to figure out an intro and an ending. And we already went over one option, just jumping right into it. A second option for the intro is to repeat or play the last 4 measures of the verse and chorus section, same progression. And that is going to be the C, G, and C, and then an additional C, and then we kick into verse 1. So let's review that intro, the second option for the intro again. 1, 2, ready, go. Should all, and then you would kick into the verse. Another option for an intro is to say that's too much and say deleting it's too little. Sort of a middle ground is to simply play 2 C chords. Should old acquaintance. So there's your third option for an intro. And regardless of how many verses you play, eventually you have to come to an ending. And you have a lot of options. As long as it's the C chord, it's going to sound good. What I would suggest, again, we'll back it up to those final chords in the chorus. We'll end with the chorus, and that final progression with the C, G, A minor, and then a nice strum just on those middle 4 strings for the C chord. Once you have each section down, the final step is to put together a complete arrangement or performance of Auld Lang Syne. And you can do that along with my Auld Lang Syne guitar karaoke video, where you can either practice singing along with Auld Lang Syne karaoke, playing guitar along with Auld Lang Syne karaoke, or doing both.